Hello, my dear students. Welcome again to another week of our biology class. As we are running to end the term, we still have a new topic that we have to round up: reproduction in unicellular organisms. In reproduction in unicellular organisms, we have the following learning objectives. One, we have to be able to describe the process of reproduction in amoeba, and also to describe the process of reproduction in Paramecium. And we should also be able to describe the process of reproduction in Spirogyra. These are the three learning objectives that we have in today's lesson. Firstly, let's look at the process of reproduction in amoeba. In amoeba, there is a type of asexual reproduction that occurs in amoeba that we call fission. A fission is a type of reproduction in which cells split into two parts or more than two equal parts. So if the cell splits into two equal parts, it is called binary fission. But if the cell splits more than two equal parts, we call it multiple fission. So these are the two types of reproduction that occurs in amoeba. Now in binary fission, let's look at binary fission first. In binary fission, when an amoeba reaches full size, it stops moving. When the amoeba stops moving, the pseudopodia will retract. It will retract. When it retracts its pseudopodia, the nucleus will start to divide. During this time, the division of the nucleus will be followed by division of the cytoplasm, in which after the division of the cytoplasm, two daughter amoeba cells will be produced. Firstly, the pseudopodia will retract, which will prompt about mitotic division of the nucleus. The nucleus will divide into two. Now, after the division of the nucleus, the cytoplasm will constrict. It will constrict, and at the process of constricting, it will also divide itself. The division of the cytoplasm will bring about the production of two daughter cells. Multiple fission, which occurs during unfavorable condition. Binary fissions occurs during favorable condition, while multiple fission occurs during unfavorable condition. Multiple fissions brings about an amoeba when the amoeba is resting. Remember, there will also be retraction of the pseudopodia. When you have the retraction of the pseudopodia, the amoeba will be covered with a cyst, because the environment is not favorable. Then it covers itself with cyst. It secretes a cyst wall. Then during this time, the nucleus divides several times. The nucleus divides several times. You see, keep on dividing. It divides as much as possible, covering itself with part of the cytoplasm of the parent. Whenever the condition is favorable, the cyst bursts or ruptures and release many amoeba daughter cells. Binary fissions also occurs in Paramecium. In Paramecium, binary fissions also occurs, but this occurs during favorable conditions, just like in amoeba. Here we have two types of nucleus. We have micronucleus and we have macronucleus. Either we call it micronucleus or small nucleus, while here we have macronucleus or large nucleus or mega nucleus. Now, during binary fission, the micronucleus divides into two equal parts, into two equal nuclei, and this happens mitotically. And when it divides, it elongates and push each of these nuclei to the opposite end of the cell. Now, why the meganucleus will elongate and divide amitotically, or we say it divides through the process of cleavage. Now, after dividing, it brings about the constriction of the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm will start to constrict. After the constriction of the cytoplasm, the cell will divide to bring about two paramecia, to bring about the production of two daughter paramecia, which after that, these two daughter paramecia will start to reorganize the organelles, where the contractile vacuoles will be rearranged, the micronucleus will be rearranged, and the oral groove or the gullet will also be developed. So during this time, we see reorganization in which the organelles are now formed completely to form a new organism, a new paramecium. This is binary fission. Now, in paramecium also, we have conjugation, another type of reproduction that occurs here. But this is not asexual like binary fission, but it is sexual reproduction. In conjugation and paramecium, we have the first thing that occurs here. Remember, they have two nucleus, macronucleus and the micronucleus. The two mating organisms or paramecium comes together and lie side by side to form a cytoplasmic bridge. When they form this cytoplasmic bridge, they are able to divide the micronucleus into four haploid micronuclei. Through meiosis, it produces four haploid micronuclei. These four haploid micronuclei will later disintegrate. They will later dissolve, remaining only two, which means that three will move out, remaining only two. Now, these two that are remaining will divide mitotically. They will divide mitotically to produce four. We have two here, which are four. So after that, we have the exchange of the nuclei, in which that this one we give this one, the other one, this one we give this one. They have exchange of the nuclei. Remember, we have four nuclei here. When this one we give to this one we give to this one, they exchange their nuclei. Then after the exchange of the nuclei, the haploid micronuclei they start to fuse. The two nuclei, remember that the two conjugate now they have two micronuclei. This one have two micronuclei, this one have two micronuclei. They will start to fuse, forming a diploid micronucleus. Here we have a diploid micronucleus. Now this diploid micronucleus will start to undergo three stages of mitosis, producing 8 micronuclei. After production of these 8 macronucleus, the original one will now disintegrate. It will dissolve. And four of these micronuclei will now become a macronuclei. Remember, we have 8 macronuclei here. When this macronucleus will disintegrate, out of these 8, 4 will form a macronucleus, while the other 4 will remain as a micronucleus. So after this formation, the micro and macronucleus will align to each other. They will pair up. One will go to this one will go to this one, to bring about the formation of 4 daughter cells. Bring about 2 rounds of cell divisions that produce about 4 daughter cells, in a way that if you see the full organism, it has only 1 macronucleus and 1 micronucleus. Then we say that the life cycle or reproduction stage is complete. But at the end of the reproduction, 4 macronucleus or 4 paramecia are being produced. 4 daughter cells are being produced. That is conjugation in Paramecium. Another organism that undergoes conjugation, Spirogyra. In Spirogyra, there are two types of reproduction that occurs. The first one, sexual reproduction, occurs by conjugation, a process we call conjugation, just like as we have in Paramecium. While the other one is by fragmentation, which is asexual. We discussed that last time. Now, in conjugation in Spirogyra, we have two filaments because it is a filamentous organism. It exists as a filament. So the two filaments comes to lie side by side to each other to form a conjugant. So here we call these organisms, we can easily call them conjugants. Organisms that participate in conjugation, we can call them conjugants. So the two filaments come to lie side by side. The two opposite cells will then bring out what we call protrusion. When they lie side by side, they bring forth protrusion. These protrusions elongate and eventually meet to form a conjugation tube. Either we call it conjugation tube or we call it conjugation canal. Now, this conjugation tube that is being formed at this point, the content of the two organisms, the contents are being described as a gamete. Both the content of this one and the content of this one is being described as a gamete. And usually we have male gamete and the female gamete. The male gamete passes through the female gamete. The male gamete passes through the female gamete to meet the female gamete. So when they meet, the two will fuse together to form a zygote. When this one meets with this one, they will fuse together and exchange their material to form a zygote. Now, this zygote that is being formed secretes a resistant wall, a very thick resistant wall. And by this time, after the secretion of this resistant wall, is being described no longer a zygote but a zygospore. It's being described this time as a zygospore. At this time that we call it zygospore, the walls of the parent starts to dissolve. It starts to decay to release the zygospore. When the walls start to decay, it brings about releasing of the zygospore. And when the zygospore has been released, it can be blown out or blown away by wind, or it can even sink to the bottoms of ponds, where it can stay and rest till when conditions are favorable, it can be able to grow up again to form a new organism. These are the three organisms that we are discussing this week. We have discussed reproduction in Amoeba by fission, reproduction in Paramecium by fission and conjugation, and reproduction in Spirogyra by conjugation. Thank you.